Hi everybody, this is Alt Samurai, and today I'm going to be reacting to Monogatari series of and Monster Season episode 3. So yeah, it's at the very least nice that I didn't have to wait as long as everyone else between episodes because I reacted to episode 2 late. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about it before getting into episode 3. And rather than usually with any other series, I would just like basically say a recap of the episode. But like for this series, it just that format does not work. So let's instead go and look at some scenes and lines and just do some comments on things that I didn't notice or didn't think about much in my last video. So first off, I think that Ougi's line about for my current self, this is without a doubt the first time I've met you, Sengoku. I do think that Ougi is just being complicated just because. But I do feel like this tracks with the theme of the arc about like my current self, my past self, the differences between them, and what makes all the different versions of them become the current you. So I think that's the intent behind this line, at least. And I think it tracks with what Ononoki says later about like it would be abnormal if someone was the same way their whole life every time you saw them. And there's this little moment where Ougi tells Nadeko, because he says like, "Oh, you can call me Oni-chan," but then, like, there was definitely some kind of like, I don't know. You know how Ougi can be condescending, but here it's definitely the type of like he's really trying to probe into a Nadeko past wound. Because he then says, "But you used to call you-know-who senpai like that, right?" So yeah, the way that Nadeko reacts is definitely something that she still hasn't fully gotten over. She just looks down, and even the cards that we get, like some extra lines from novels, are just 3 dots. Oh yeah, then Ougi tries to steal Hachikuji's recurrent gag. Oh, and then he asks, "Are you heading to school?" And Nadeko, not exactly how she used to do, of like, and then trying to change the subject, but here she still deflects and just asks him if the bicycle that he was riding is all right. And Ougi lets her change the subject. But you can still see that Nadeko is still not entirely a new person. She still has some things that she hasn't improved on, which is I like. After all, it's only been what? 8 months since that happened. Like, you cannot really change yourself that much in that period of time. At least in my experience, so that feels realistic. And then Ougi tells her that he saw her in a school uniform, and then we go into the past on how this situation came to be. And we get into the 10,000 hours monologue. And basically a lot of math to say that it would be 3 years to get the 10,000 hours if you take out all the hours you sleep. And then she tells us that she's been thinking about this because her parents all gave her an ultimatum. And then Ononoki says something that I don't actually agree with. Like, basically, she says something along the lines of, like, that they are finally being, they're, reluctantly or indulgently, they're taking some action that's worthy of celebration. Yeah, I don't really agree with the sentiment, but I don't know. Ononoki said back in episode 1 of the season that she's not really like Oshino, but I feel this is kind of like an Oshino thing to say. Kind of like being neutral or middle ground and trying to see it from everyone's perspective. Now, later on, she will like try to see it from Nadeko's perspective and be like, oh, this is how I see it, and this is how this is the reality of things. But here it did feel too harsh. Now, granted, this is probably, you know, from my eyes, it feels too harsh because it's just easier to see it from Nadeko's perspective because I've been in a very similar situation. But yeah, I still stand by what I said about her parents the last episode. And even here, like, they don't really seem to actually care about Nadeko, really. The way that they say it. There definitely could have been a better way to say it in a more gentle and supportive way of, like, or even trying to understand her feelings, why she's been acting like this. You know, having an open and vulnerable conversation with her, but that's not what that was. It was just a demand. Oh, yeah, and then she talks about Ononoki having been spending a lot of time in her house. Well, her room. She comes 4 times a week. It's ruining my feeling of being a shut-in. That's really cool. I feel like that's subtle, but that says a lot about Ononoki. I don't, like, she doesn't have to. But I think she's definitely, a small part of it is definitely Ononoki doing it. Because she started to care for Nadeko and wants her to actually have someone to talk to instead of just being all isolated like this, having some sort of not human interaction, because Ononoki is not human, but you know, the closest thing to it. And then, yeah, that's nice from Ononoki. She's helping me out. Oh yeah, she's being a model for sketches. Ah yes, this is when she says, I don't think all of your efforts are useless. It's a practical problem and the effort requires payment. Which is, yeah, that is definitely a fact. I do think that Nadeko I don't know, but you know what? Let me not say that. I don't like the way that I was going to phrase that. But I do think, at the very least, that Nadeko might have a better perspective if she gives, at the very least, finishing middle school. And then we can go from there. I mean, she's 15. Her life is barely just starting. It's complicated, for sure. But yeah, she more than anything wants the prize, or to gain a manga prize, so that she can tell her parents, like, see, I can do this. Like, it's not something idiotic or useless. And just for that alone, my heart goes out to her. Oh, and then this. I should be making my atonement. I never thought about it like that. But you know what? Fair enough. When you really think about it, characters don't really get punished by others in the series. for the things that they do. So if anything, it's always just their inner struggles that feel like their own consequences. I specifically, you know, being violent towards others, like Black Hanakawa, the god Nadeko, Kambaru, and the monkey paw. And it's the devil, but you know. And then that's when Ononoki tells her about Plan 1 and Plan 2. So I'm not going to linger too much on that one. It was a lot of mechanics. Although I do think that Ononoki telling Nadeko that a positive of using the clones is to learn to be a team player, because that's definitely going to become useful in the future, as she wants to be a mangaka. No matter how introverted you are, even as you are now, if you're dealing with yourself, you can communicate as much as you want, right? Well, that's a funny line now. She clearly underestimated how bad at communicating Nadeko is. And then we talk about Shikigami, and then about Kage knowing what she does for her, and how to make them. And also, yeah, Gain. So I do think, we already saw her make the clones. So she's definitely gonna meet Gain at some point. And it's apparently beneficial because if Gain sees her as harmless and useful in case of an emergency, then she will, the chance of being exterminated as an oddity, it goes down quite significantly. So then we go through all the different Nadekos to give them different characteristics, and then we go back to the present with Ougi on the bicycle. And yeah, we see that all the Nadekos ran away, which is kind of surprising. You would think that at least Shy Nadeko wouldn't even have had the courage to do that, but to be fair, running away, it was definitely something that Nadeko was the best at. So then she's like, well, I gotta find them, otherwise they might get me in trouble. And then we end up at the middle school. So yeah, that's all I have for episode 2. And technically I'm not spoiled on episode 3, but I do know that somehow Oikura is going to be in it. I don't know how, but she will be. And I think we're finally gonna get an opening. Sure. This season has been very unorthodox on that, so I'm looking forward to it. Okay, let's start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Chapter 8. Okay, yeah, right where we left off. Oh, interesting. He could, but then Nadeko, yeah, she'd be the same thing. She would be doing the same thing as her past self, avoiding something painful. Let's go. Oh, very manga-like. Continue to part A. Oh, opening! I'm so curious how it's going to be. This gave me very Renai Circulation vibes. Ononoki's voice? I do it! Oh my god! This is the only do it outside from Koi Monogatari's Kaikin Senjus. Oh, I love this. Why does that look so funny? I love the visuals. With all the Nadekos, the visuals also give me Mayoi Snail vibes. I'm really curious about what the lyrics say. I feel like I'm definitely missing out not knowing them. Very cutesy in both style, visual style, and song wise. Oh, alright. Oh! What? But. Yeah, Ougi said that he saw one with the uniform. Wow, did not expect them to be so mischievous. Mm. Fair, yeah, okay. Figured. You gotta get to her first. You would think that, but not necessarily. Mm. Yeah, it would be a third year class. Oh. That was actually how I was looking at them. Mm. Yeah, kinda. After all, she was the one who drew them. So they came from her perspective of her past selves. Oh, oh. Omae wa dare? I'm scared. This is like Ononoki and Sokuhawari. Whoa. Yeah, I get it. Mm. Bright. So fake. Fake light. Yeah, because I don't see that as me. Oh, it's so good. Yo, Augie with the wisdom? Mm. one day she would have ended up like this regardless. Ah. Oh, I love this shit. Hmm. Right, like what happened with the slug. Mm. Seems easy enough. If you can take the context of where the Shikigami is. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. Yeah, they don't listen to her. Wow. They're more entranced by what they want to see. What's easier to see. Oof. Oh, the fake one, huh? Yo, Ougi with the clutch move? Don't listen to her. Okay. Yo, the colors here are so cool. Ooh, ooh, barely made it. So cartoony. Mm. How would you even go about explaining that? What? That's like the opposite of Oshino's catchphrase. Catchphrase. Mm. Mm. Oh, Kambaru? Personal reasons. How did Kambaru know so quickly? Mm. Hey, let's go. She actually made the choice of using the phone. Hey, short haired Kambaru again. Yeah, and Araragi cut Kambaru's hair. That's a really, really good scene. I still exist. Oh, oh. I'm just still using the bandages. I just did what was natural. Very kaiki thing to say. Oh, hell no. That's the worst. That was cool seeing Kambaru. How did she end up like that? Oh man, but Ougi was so useful last time. Mm. Uh, that might, yeah, that might be worse. That's something. Actually, where did Ougi find that bike? Is that the bike he's always had? Oh, this park. Shiro Heavy Park. mm. Uh, so embarrassing. Oh, is that who I think it is? Oikura? Wait, huh? Bro, how does she know Nadeko? How do they know each other? One-chan. Mm. That she had. Okay. Wait, so she knew her back from when she was a kid? Oh. Yeah, okay, so. Did she meet her when Oikura spent time in that other household? Man, Oikura looks and acts so different. Yeah, she does, alright. The crab. I like it. Mm. I think we're going to get an Oikura arc, so I'm gonna wait for that to get more context. It's a long story. Shumine. Oh. Okay, I figured this was when they met. A lot. For sure, it is. Oh. Oikura makes me sad. Her story is so heavy. Yeah. After her first year of high school, she stopped going. Ooh. Oikura? Oikura? Eee. Oh, that shit's so meaningful coming from her. I'll wonder how long will this continue. Ah, that hurts. Hmm. Yeah, I could have knows nothing of aberrations. Sure. Hmm. 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 Interesting outlook. Hmm. A different perspective. But I mean, how can you know that if they don't communicate it? Man, this is so interesting. Considering, what could have passed. As long as you're alive, you can become an adult. Now with the instrumental of Renee's circulation in the background. Alright. Nadeko just motivated her just by being herself. Why is that making me emotional? Oh, nice. Wakarimashita. Oh, damn! And you can count on her. Tsukihi. Karen-chan. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, we still haven't seen her. Um, oh, this is cool. I mean, I don't, I don't think that he is going to be there. But I don't think that Nadeko has gone there since what? Since Nadeko Medusa? Yeah, I think if she sees Tsukiki, then is Tsukiki going to her? But she hasn't gone there. This might be very necessary. A very necessary place. Like a school was for to confront flirting Nadeko. I like this. Man, this is oh this is definitely gonna be some peak storytelling. You're a character, you don't try to be happy. Peace, peace. That's the episode. Okay. So, yeah, this is easily my favorite episode so far. But I mean, it's Monogatari, so I definitely, I'm not discarding the opportunity of it being topped by probably the last episode of this arc. Or even another arc in the season, so, but I'm just saying. So, at the beginning, it was very interesting to see that Ougi actually offered to go inside in Nadeko's place into the school so she wouldn't have to do it. And I would guess that if she did give Ougi the paper, he would have been able to do the stealing thing as well. And it's a little surprising because, you know, even still, he's still so pushy about making people confront their problems. I feel like that's something he would have never done in the past. I mean, obviously, most of the interactions Ougi had were with Araragi. And that was like essential for Araragi to do so, you know, the way that they're connected with each other. But even with Nadeko, specifically in Nadeko Medusa, if he did offer help like this, it felt, I don't know, like there was always a like a sinister motive behind it. But here he's actually giving her an out, and it might also be like, you know, testing her of like how much she's grown, and if she takes this, then she's still running away from her problems. And basically, like, you know, yes, giving him the paper would still flirting Nadeko, but it wouldn't help current Nadeko internally. And she does seem to consider the offer. Yeah, we see her thinking about it. And then we see a visual with a lot of Nadeko, two Nadekos going, no. I should be the one to do it. Ougi still is like, well, I still don't want to separate from you. It would be the cool thing to do, which I don't know. So I still don't fully understand, Ougi's inner workings, but I'll believe him. So he accompanies her, and then they go inside. They look for her, and we get some visuals that are like, old, like we're looking at an old manga. And then we get the opening, and it's just, I love the pastel colors. How it is interesting also how all the Nadeko clones look the same, like the green hair in the short dress, even though we know that the 4 Nadekos, the Shikigamis that she created, all look different for that specific reason, so we would be able to tell them apart. So this is more so just, symbolism rather than something from the actual story. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to really be able to dissect the opening, other than what we're already getting from the story. Maybe if I had the lyrics. Oh, this Nade Monogatari episode 0 still. Nadeko's Draw Part 2, second episode of the arc. But this is off-season broadcast number 3. Oh yeah, and then we learned that we thought Shy Nadeko was the one who went to school, but it was actually Flirty Nadeko, and she changed clothes with Shy Nadeko. Now, how Shy Nadeko went from wearing the pink dress to wearing nothing but bloomers beats me, but maybe we'll find out once we find her. Oh yeah, and then Nadeko refers to Flirty Nadeko as my former self, but then Ougi corrects her. You shouldn't cut yourself apart from the Shikigami by saying my former self, Sengoku. Right, because, and then he says, after all, the Shikigami are existences similar to babies who were recently born. They're not Nadeko Sengoku from a year ago that we brought here using a time machine. Right, that's not what this is. They were just brought into existence, and basically they have the same information that current Nadeko has, because she's the one who made them, with the information that she has. And with her own perception of what those versions of herself were like. Yeah, so that's basically how I was looking at them as well, so I think I needed that. And it should also be my current selves as well. So then they head into the 3rd year's classroom, and then we find her. And I gotta say, seeing flirty Nadeko just be the center of attention in the room was genuinely creepy in a way that I cannot describe. That's basically because Nadeko is so similar to me. I feel like if I saw a version of myself being like that with people I semi-know, I would have definitely, like, thrown up at the spot. And then she calls her a creation, a fake, an unbelievably fabricated Nadeko Sengoku. And well, yes, the Shikigami is that. It's still based on a Nadeko that used to exist. And then we see her being quite envious of her. Because of course this is something that Nadeko would wish to have. So ordinary, superficial, cookie cutter, generalized girl who's worth only so much per mound. I mean, right, she's not wrong per se. After all, 30, Nadeko was only a face she put on to get the guy that she had a crush on, but not really. It's complicated. Regardless, this is, as you can see, what people would flock to. She looks so ridiculously bright that it was blinding. She looks like she's having so much fun and she's entertaining those around her. Yeah, of course, this would be something that Nadeko wishes she could do. After all, it's not something that she can do, that she's never been able to do, not naturally. Yeah, of course she can't stand to watch it. Oh man, this is so real. Man, who would have thought? I know I said this before, but yeah, when I first watched another comedies, I couldn't stand her, and I'm like, yo, that's me for real, for real. If I was happy right now, I wouldn't make an effort to chase my dreams. That phrase is likely one truth. Oh yeah, then we get you with the freaking wisdom. If making your dreams come true, meeting your goals, moving up in life, become more satisfied and your objectives. Or just stop playing you and trying stoic effort by doing everything you have, or you live a lax, lukewarm life, it would ultimately end up with the same result. Whew. Yeah, because at the end of the day, all the Nadekos have the same underlying desire. It's just the other ones either saw it as something that it wasn't worth pursuing, or they thought that, it's impossible, so why go for it? Which it was to become a mangaka, to actually go and try and make their dreams come true. Lukewarm water will someday cool down and become cold water. Sure, that is true. It might be good for now, but you cannot hide the anxiety you feel towards your future. The life of the party, Nadeko, regardless of how she appears to others. That anxiety of what to do, it would still happen if she doesn't deal with it. After all, this is just a mask. The anxiety towards the future, meaning the present. She's lacking your current self. The one who's chasing her dream may seem even more brilliant. I love that. I'm basically envying the other version of herself, but that version of herself sees Nadeko. She could see Nadeko, rather, and be like, oh, she's everything that I am missing. She's already doing all this and that. She's already accepted a lot of things that I haven't. Oh, this is so good, man. Uh, mm, but seeing that, that's an interesting expression that Sengoku makes. I can't really place it, but I would say like she understands and accepts what Ougi is saying, but it's just hard to come to terms with it. Oh yeah, the Shikigami actually does literally affect the classmates. And then we see the flashback of Ononaki telling her what to do with the paper. Oh yeah, she yells the girl's a fake and no one listens to her. And we see Nadeko just a small in the background. And this is when we see this. If anything, maybe it's better if I just disappeared. Oh. Like, even after what Ougi told her, she's still like, maybe I'm not needed after all. The me that is, the current of me. I mean, no one wants to be with me anyway. So what's the point? Oof. I'm the one who's flimsy as a paper. A fake. Yo, the moment I saw that, I was like, wait, but are you though? Every time that the word fake is used in the series, I always think back to Kaiki's philosophy that we learned from Kawainui. The fake can be even of more value than the real one. So, it doesn't matter if you're fake. Be a proud fake. You're not of lesser value if you are one. Or of course, Nadeko never heard that. And she just continues on that if everyone's having so much fun, and if that Nadeko is having fun herself, then maybe this is fine. Maybe I should just let it continue. Who am I to say, Who am I to judge that Nadeko shouldn't exist? This is... like, I don't have any words other than this is so good. But it is. Such a different but just as compelling way of dealing with the concept of dealing with your shadow. What's the philosophy? The Jungian, I think that is Jung. Of having the shadow apart from yourself, and then incorporating it with the one that you are at the moment. And just as Nadeko was about to give up, Ougi pushes a fire alarm, and that's what gives current Nadeko the push and determination and chance to seal away flirty Nadeko. And for a moment I thought she was gonna hesitate when flirty Nadeko is undermining her efforts. And she calls her what? Yeah, embarrassing. But she still does it anyway. Ah, man, I'm proud of current Nadeko for that one. I've already how to say it? Like, she's already made her choice to be who she is now. So she's sure as hell not gonna let another version of herself just undermine everything she's done up to this point. So it's time to run. that image of her holding Ougi's like what, the stomach, her arms around his stomach while they live in the bag is so funny. But then yeah, because of what happened, now she's like, well, how can I even go to school even after that? That's even harder now. Oh, and then Ougi says, did something happen to you or something? So that just makes me miss Oshino. But this actually, like, Oshino obviously was like more like sarcastic or ironic with the, did something good happen to you? But no, it's like, no, this does actually fit. Something bad did happen. But Nadeko is obviously like, yeah, it did. I am really thinking about, what is it? The inferiority that flirty Nadeko made her feel. Like, yeah, she was able to go against her in the spur of the moment, but was she able to do it with the rest of them? I think aggressive Nadeko might be the most difficult one. But who knows? Who knows? It could also be God Nadeko. Just because she was so delusional and unwilling to listen to others. And then we get the Kambaru scene. I was actually not sure if we're going to actually see her and just hear her voice. But no, she's there. Oh, I'm so glad. I wonder if she's back to playing basketball now. She's a third-year high schooler. Right? Maybe not. Maybe she's still a... No, yeah, she is. I'm tripping. But it just gave me old Monogatari feels when we just see her doing some weird flexing and yeah, just flexing really. And like, yeah, that's the company I remember. And that's where we find out about Shy Nadeko just being with a hand bra and bloomers. Just running around town. But thankfully, or hopefully, no one actually seems to know that that's who she is because of the bangs. And this when we part ways with Ougi. And it makes sense, there's already 3, and it seems like Shy Nadeko has covered so much ground in such few time. Oh yeah, Ougi gives her the idea of drawing a lot more Nadekos so they can cover more ground and looking. But like, that's how this problem came about in the first place, so we're not doing that. So Ougi lends her his bike, a BMX bike. I'm still like, bro, where does Ougi sleep? Is that necessary? But it's just something I wonder. Where'd he get the bike? I'll find transportation for myself separately. How? You know what? He'll make do. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna left off. Like I did with episode 1. Because there was a lot to this episode. Like, damn, I did not expect it to be that dense after last week was less so. But I'm glad that it was. But yeah, next week I'm gonna talk about the whole conversation with Oikura. Because that was amazing. So yeah, if you enjoyed my reaction to this episode, please like and subscribe. Until next time, see ya.